Well, good morning, everyone. It's always so great to be here with you. And today we are continuing the study of the book, The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And today we're on the fourth law, as Terry said, and it is the law of least effort. The law of least effort. That just makes me go, it makes me have a big cleansing breath to think the law of least effort. But before we go there very far, I want to remind you briefly of the first three laws that you've been considering this month. Law one was the law of pure potentiality. And it says that at our core, we are pure consciousness. And we live in a place of infinite possibilities and creativity. In the Unity Foundational book, Lessons in Truth, Emily Cady calls this pure consciousness, creative cause. Creative cause. She says that we are made in the image and likeness of God, who is not just emanating love, joy, and harmony, but God is love, joy, and harmony. And that in the spirit of God's image and being created in God's image, we are also love, joy, and harmony. The second law of a spiritual law of success is the law of giving. And it's about the flow in the universe of the interaction between giving and receiving. Everything in the universe is made up of this energy of constant change around giving and receiving. Law three is the law of karma, or cause and effect. It's about both cause and effect because every action creates a flow of energy that comes back in like kind. What you sow is what you reap. It's about making conscious choices, and in the field of pure potentiality, we have infinite choices. And today we come to law 4, or the law of least effort. This law is about no resistance. And therefore it taps into the love and harmony of the universe, where we see the constant interaction of giving and receiving. And this law of least effort, or no resistance, makes me think of the last time I was here talking to you about acceptance. You may remember that I talked about the opposite of acceptance being resistance to change, and how frequently we as human beings go to that default position of resistance whenever there is a change. And I started to say a big change, but sometimes it's just any change in our lives. We develop a comfort zone around things the way they are. And even if they're not perfect, it's just easier. It's hard to adapt to something totally new. It's work. So we resist, usually to no avail, since change is coming anyway. Deepak Chopra points out that nature follows this law of least effort with ease. To quote him from the book, grass doesn't try to grow, it just grows. Fish don't try to swim, they just swim. Flowers don't try to bloom, they bloom. Birds don't try to fly. This is their intrinsic nature. The earth doesn't try to spin on its own axis. It is the nature of the earth to spin. It is the nature of babies to be in bliss. It is the nature of the sun to shine. It is the nature of stars to glitter and sparkle. And it is human nature to make our dreams manifest into physical form easily and effortlessly. He further says that what we call a miracle is really an expression of the law of least effort. A miracle is what happens when we let go of our resistance. His description of the law of least effort is this: nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease, with carefreeness, harmony, and love. And when we harness the forces of harmony, joy, and love, we create success and good fortune with effortless ease. This reminded me of a class that I recently took online that was taught by Reverend Richard Rogers on the book The Happiness Advantage by Sean Acor. And the entire premise of this book is based on a lot of research that he and others have done on the concept of success and how you get there. And happiness and how you get there. And what most of us have been taught is that when we are successful, then we are happy. All of our lives, some of us have been taught this. If we work really hard and become a success at whatever we choose to do in life, then we will be happy. Well, there are a few things wrong with this concept according to their research. One is that our definition of success tends to change over time. It's like a moving target. And our definition of success is not like the person next to us, or our parents, or our bosses frequently. And what they found in their studies was that the truth is that happiness doesn't come from success. Success comes from happiness. How many of you have worked your buns off over a period of time to become successful? You feel successful, and then no one acknowledges it. Or you've worked really hard and you haven't been successful. I've been in these situations many times in my life. Chopra's, and you probably have too, I'm thinking, Chopra's definition of the law of effort, we find a way to both success and happiness. And it's, guess what? Non-resistance and acceptance. And you're already an expert on acceptance because of all the great information you received last month, right? Well, maybe not yet. Maybe you're not an expert yet, but you will be the longer you practice acceptance. So let's look a little more closely at Deepak Chopra's ideas on how to apply this fourth law and to use the law of least effort. When we go through life looking for money or power and doing all the things it takes to achieve these kinds of goals, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of planning, and frequently manipulation of things to get them to work out just so that you can be successful. How do I know this? Well, about 30 years ago, I found myself caught up in exactly that kind of life. After I got my MBA, which was quite an investment of time and energy in itself, doing it all at night, working a really demanding job at the same time, it took me 7 years to get my MBA. And after I got it, I thought, well, now I really need to make good on this, right? So I took a route that brought me to exactly this kind of life where I was making things happen and making them work just a certain way so that I could move up in the world. And I got pretty good at planning out every step. and frequently every conversation. In fact, I pretty much scripted my life. And for the most part, I got what I wanted or what I thought I wanted. And by the time I had become director of marketing at a hospital in the Pasadena, California area, I had done everything right to climb the ladder almost to the top, where at the time, very few women resided. And then I realized something. In order to go any further and move any higher up the ladder, I had to continue to play the game. And I had to be like the people above me. And I immediately realized that I did not want to be like the people above me, doing almost anything to get what I wanted. So I began the journey to find and do what would make me happy, regardless of money or anything. And it took a little while, but I finally unwound my way to a life that would make me happy, because I had actually known for some time that above all else, God wanted me to be happy. God wants you to be happy. Rumi said, "Seek the wisdom that will untie your knot. Seek the path that demands your whole being." And so that's what I did. And you can do that too by using the law of least effort. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with money or personal gain. I'm all for those things that make life a little more pleasant and easier to navigate. But if that is all you're looking for, money and power, you will miss the flow of the energy of love. And that's what keeps the universe in harmony. Love is the energy that creates the situation where you manifest what you desire and are happier than you've ever been before by using the least effort. Why? Because love is, as they say, what makes the world go round. And when you are motivated by love, you are in the universal flow of nature and everything that is good and is God in the world. And the extra energy that comes from living in this state of love makes it possible to create anything you want, including great wealth or a dynamic relationship. That is what the law of least effort and creative cause is all about. I was telling a friend the other day about when I was a worship coordinator at Unity of Phoenix, that was by far my favorite job and calling of all time up until that point in my life. I worked extremely long hours and was paid very little, but I never once felt stressed in that job or in my life while I was doing it. In fact, it didn't really feel like work. It was just a joy to do it. It pretty much felt like it took no effort to do it at all. It was truly a gift. It felt like I was being paid to play. It changed my life and it helped me understand myself and my true desires more than anything else I had ever done. It taught me the meaning of pure joy. And it took so little effort, but it gave a lifetime of payoff to me. That's what operating from an energy of love can do for you. Eric Butterworth said that love is the only true creative force in the world. Deepak Chopra said in this book that least effort is expended when your actions are motivated by love, because all of nature is held together by the energy of love. When you seek power and control over other people and circumstances, you just waste energy. I have felt that kind of exhaustion from trying to get it right and do everything just so the outcome will be right. It's not worth it. But operating from love, now there's some fun and energy producing stuff. According to Chopra, there are 3 components to the law of least effort. One is acceptance. And we talked about this. It's just about making a commitment that says, today, I will accept people and circumstances as they occur. It's believing that this moment is exactly as it should be, just as the universe is exactly as it should be. And you then stop struggling against the whole universe. I know right now it's really tempting to fight the universe. A lot's going on, a lot, and in all directions. But in unity, we've been asking for growth and change for good for a long time. Actually, for most of my life, we've wanted a better world to live in. Well, we can't learn and grow without turning our rock over to look at the underside of where we are. We have to live in the knowledge that this moment is as it is before we can move forward. We have to accept it. I'm not saying we have to like it. I'm just saying we have to admit what is true, what is happening, what this moment is all about. And accept that. And then we can do better and grow into the people, the country, and the world we want to see and to be. So we can wish for things to be different in the future, but we have to accept things in this moment as they really are. When you do that, you can realize that what you're reacting to are your own feelings. And you can change your own feelings of anger and hopelessness or whatever they are, and take responsibility for changing and for doing whatever is yours to do. So that second component of the law of least effort is responsibility. This means not blaming anyone or anything for your situation. This is a hard lesson for me to learn, but that includes you. Don't blame yourself even. It means the ability to have a creative response to circumstances. It then becomes an opportunity to work on the solution, to create something new and wonderful in your life. I can say without question that I have a 100% record of wonderful new things coming out of really difficult, heart-wrenching events in my life. So I've come to expect that every time there's a problem or struggle, something better comes along. And the other thing I've learned is that when you're looking for something better, for something good to come, it does. Because what we focus on expands, right? So whenever you confront a problem person or a situation, when someone's mean to you or just difficult, when things just seem impossible to overcome, say to yourself, this moment is as it should be. What is mine to do? It will be the beginning to your way through with the least effort. Though the meaning may not be clear at that moment, eventually you will see that it was perfect for your next positive steps. And the third component of the law of least effort is defenselessness. And when I first read that, I had to look at it again and really think about it. It sounded kind of helpless to me, defenselessness. But as I read what Deepak Chopra had to say, I realized it was perfect. And in fact, what I've been trying to do in this social media world. If you were to follow me for any length of time on Facebook, you'd come to know that I rarely speak about my political beliefs. It has become a challenge to maintain that as conversations get more and more passionate, but I have found it to be exhilarating. Being defenseless, as Chopra suggests, takes you out of the drama and keeps you in the moment. Instead of jumping in the fight with both feet, where no one ever changes any other's mind, and wasting so much energy trying to defend your view, you actually start to experience things at a different level. You still get to have your own personal view, which possibly could evolve if you're listening more and talking less. Or not, but you lose the need to have everyone think and act like you. Once you commit not to argue about it, it changes everything. You can replace the need to defend yourself with the pure joy of experiencing and loving everyone around you, finding the good and the common ground. By living in the present moment from a place of love, you drop all the hurt and resentful feeling and become the light, carefree, and joyful person you really want to be. All of your desires will then come from a level of love and happiness, not from anxiety or fear. So the path of the fourth law, the law of least effort, is the path of acceptance and non-resistance. It includes responsibility and defenselessness, and best of all, it puts you in the flow of life and universal love and harmony. A life of ease, in which your desires and dreams may manifest at the appropriate time, and all this coming from applying the law of least effort. Thank you.